She's crazy. She's gone too far. We were sunbathing by the pool at the Winfield apartment building where Bob Crane was murdered. She was visiting from California. I settled back in the turquoise slatted lounge chair. She calmly squirted white lines of sunblock over her thighs and said, "Mother, was I ever molested?" Who could have known then that no matter what I said, she would take this whole damn thing and turn it into a career? She's never been happy. She has trouble with men. When she was 13, I used to have to arrange for the boys to take her out. She was painfully shy. That was her problem. She used to understand that. I don't know how she got that way. She certainly didn't get it from me. I've always had lots of boyfriends, hundreds of them. Daddy said someday I would have to pay for breaking all those hearts. He was right. This is a picture of Bud. His real name was Royal, but he was a junior, so everyone called him Bud. He was husband number 1 and Leslie's father, although you'd never know it. He never paid a dime in child support. When I married Bud, I was sure that I would live happily ever after. On our honeymoon, we stopped in Greenwich Village. I wanted to stay there with those bohemian artists and not be married. I studied speech and dramatics in college. I had my own radio show for children. I wrote the stories and did the voices myself. Bud was the catch of the season. Tall, with blonde hair. He played terrific honky-tonk piano and was a genius at math. All the girls in college went to bed with him. He was so good-looking. I wouldn't sleep with him, so he married me. Years later, he had an affair with a floozy from Calumet City. And on his way home one night, drunk, he killed a man in the road. He was up on a manslaughter charge, but Daddy got him off. Bud eventually married this woman, but she couldn't have any children. Her name was Phyllis. If I had it to do over, I wouldn't have any children either. Leslie is now doing paintings of naked people. She said she started them one day after she had a memory. I don't understand what these paintings are supposed to mean. Realistically speaking, I don't have too many years left to figure out her sick mind. She said she remembered hiding from Ed in a playhouse in the backyard, that he was after her, and that he'd go to her room at night, and when she was asleep, put covers back, slip his hand underneath her pajamas, and touch her between the legs. It started when I had pink eye, she said, when I was supposed to keep my eyes closed with medication. Remember, Mother? I don't remember, because it never happened. There was no playhouse in the backyard. And Ed, of all people, he was very nice, but not exactly a man of passion. Once I went to a gynecologist who tried to kiss me, and Ed didn't even get angry. He thought it was my fault. The only reason I married him was because everyone thought he would be such a good father for Leslie. I changed her name every time I remarried. Well, I wanted to have the same name I did, and to feel like she was part of each relationship. But she never liked him. She didn't like anyone. Later, Ed got the idea that he should be a priest. It broke up our marriage, but... Does that sound like a child molester to you? By the time I was 30 years old, I knew the right outfit for divorce court. Navy blue suit, slightly sexy, but not too much, white pearls, gloves, and a wide-brimmed hat. Over the years, people have told me that I resemble Gail Storm, Lena Horne, Eartha Kitt, Peggy Lee, and Jackie Kennedy. I love $1 Million Red lipstick. I have the polish, too. I told my friend Cherry Arquilla, the original Chesterfield girl, and the rest of the girls at the Models Guild, that the legs are the last to go. Later, they all told me that I was wrong. Well, mine are the last to go. This is John. He wore black horn-rimmed glasses and had a squarish body. He was my favorite. When I married him, he gave me a charm for my bracelet that said, "I married two angels." John was going to legally adopt Leslie, but we divorced before it was final. He'd been adopted himself by some people from Waterloo, Iowa, who live next door to a cemetery. He was a big spender and a terrific cook. His specialty was chicken Marengo, and he loved the opera. He was always making me laugh, even after his hemorrhoid operation. But I found out too late he had a problem with gambling. He gave me a pink Cadillac convertible because one day I told him I wanted one so I could wear scarves. He didn't have the money to pay for it. I was flattered, but I felt uneasy. Everything was on credit. He bought Leslie a horse named Honeybee that he never completely paid for either. We used to take expensive riding lessons and drive out to a stable in the country and visit Honeybee. One day she was just completely gone. John was terrific when he had money. When he didn't have it, he pretended he did. He stole the inheritance money I got when Daddy died, plus the trust fund for Leslie. He was in the produce business, and he lost it all in a bad crop of cucumbers in Salinas. But he was so upset that he came to the door one night with a gun. He broke the door down and threw a head of lettuce in my face.
Leslie had to call the police.
Well, he was gone, of course, before the police arrived. They asked me all kinds of questions. Was he drunk? Are you still married? Did he hit the girl? Did he hit you? With the lettuce, I said. I want a restraining order. The whole time they were there, Andy Williams was singing the Hawaiian wedding song over and over. It was stuck on the record player. Later, John sent me the record, Stranger on the Shore, to let me know that that was how he felt. If it hadn't been for Leslie, I probably would have stayed with him. She's made up stories about John, too, with the help of her therapist, whoever that may be. These people are making a fortune, planting incest ideas in the minds of people who can't remember their childhood. What is the use of dredging these things up? Anyway, Leslie said that when I used to travel with the Models Guild, John came into her room at night and slept in the bed with her. I told her that if that's all that happened, it wasn't so unusual. Daddy used to do the same with me when he felt lonely. I mean, certain things run in families, like diabetes. She said that John used to masturbate in front of her. I'd parade around the laundry room naked while changing into his bathing suit, and that when I was gone, when I wasn't home, he would stand in the doorway of her bedroom and watch her get dressed. Lies. I asked her why she didn't just close the bedroom door. She told me that it was no secret that John and I had a troubled sex life. She used to hear things through her bedroom wall. Well, it was quite the opposite. We had a terrific sex life. I can't get her to stop telling these lies. She's crazy. After we divorced, John ended up marrying my sister, that bitch. He said it was the closest he could get to being with me. I mean, she had already been divorced 4 times. Later, John got killed. Hit his head in a rock and cracked his skull right open. I have been so disappointed with men. After this, I was unmarried for 7 years, and it almost killed me. I had to go back to work and support myself and Leslie. I could have lowered my expenses by sharing an apartment with another divorced mother, but I didn't want to expose Leslie to possible strange men, exposing themselves at all hours. She acted spoiled and self-centered. I had a few boyfriends during this time. My favorites were Sylvan Rice, the retired jewelry buyer from Miami, who loved poodles, and Libertus von Bockelen, one of the ladies' shoe salesmen from Saks. Oh, I also had an opportunity to marry someone with a yacht, but he didn't want anything to do with Leslie. Finally, I met Carl. When I told Leslie I was going to marry him, she said,
Who the fuck do you think you are, Gail? Elizabeth Taylor?
I was so shocked. She has such a bad attitude. Carl and I got married for tax reasons. Plus, he was so good in bed. He was quite a salesman of industrial laundry machines. But he turned out to be a pathological liar. After our divorce, and he took Est, Carl felt guilty about signing my name to a tax refund check. So we met in a bar, and he gave me half that money. Years later, I got a Christmas card from Carl that said, "Joy to all, after 3 vascular aorta surgeries, 1 bypass, 3 heart attacks, and testicular cancer, still alive, am single, retired, and golfing 2 days a week. God bless your life, your beautiful daughter, and you and Arthur. Merry Christmas, Carl." I haven't told you about Arthur yet. After Carl, I was sure I would never marry again. But it's just amazing. After all these years and all those husbands, I finally got it right. Arthur and I went to high school together, back in Chicago. When one of his sons shot himself, he came to Scottsdale for a rest. He looked me up in the phone book, and he brought me 2 Lalique swans because he said they reminded him of me. Here's Arthur, the day we got married, in his dark gray silk suit. Looks kind of like a sexy hoodlum, don't you think? You know, hair slicked down, just like Daddy. The latest lie from Leslie is that she thinks I was molested by Daddy. She's angry with me for not protecting her when she was a child, but says she understands because the same thing probably happened to me. She can't get away with this. I'm the one who's upset. Ever since she started this crap, I have had to take sleeping pills, and my body shaper Del Lago business has gone straight to hell. I had a perfect location, right on Scottsdale Road, in a new shopping center right where the Gainey Arabian horse ranch used to be. This is a picture of Daddy. Does he look like a child molester to you? I don't understand why this is happening. Leslie and I used to be good friends. I told her not to contact me anymore. Good luck with your therapy, I said. I sincerely hope you have a happier life. I don't feel sorry for myself. I always told Leslie, if you hold your head up slightly, a double chin won't show as much. And if you start to cry, look up. The tears will stop, and your mascara won't run.